Okay, guys, so just bring this up. Okay, this is a quick little video about what we covered today, Friday. Um, this is the tutorial class about how to calculate things on a spreadsheet. This is for your report. This is the first part of how to do percentage changes and also ratios, and actually going through figuring out from this, you can then write your report that you need. So I'm just going to have up on screen the spreadsheet, and we're going to go through quickly how to do the percentage changes, the formulas, and after that we're going to do a couple of little ratios. Okay, this is the Auckland Beach Hotel. You have 4 years worth of data. For each of these, you can actually do a change between 1 year to the next. So we can look at the change between 16 to 17. We can then look at the change between 17 and 18, and then look at the change between 18 and 19. So there's 3 lots of change that we can do. So I'm just going to do a little heading here, dollar change 18 to 19. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is the dollar change from, not 18 to 19, sorry, from 16 to 17. Got the wrong year there. That's the first one. That was the last one, 18 to 19. Okay, so what's the dollar change between 16 to 17? So you hit equals, and it's always the new year minus the old year. So in this case, it's E6 minus D6. So E6 being 2017 minus D6. So in this case, there's been a change, an upwards change between the 2 years of 250,000. Cool. Now that you've got the percentage change, you can now calculate the dollar change, you can now calculate the percentage change for those 2 years. Now the percentage change formula is the dollar change divided by the original figure. So you have equals dollar change, in this case H6, divided by the 2016 figure. So in this case it's D6. So the formula is equals H6 divided by D6. And hit enter. Now in this case it's come up with a really big long number, but we can change that into a percentage. So we don't need the times 100 part. So what we do is we select the whole column by clicking on where the arrow turns into downwards arrow. That's selected the whole column I. Go up to your program and you can select percent style. And then it changes that to a percentage. Now you can also increase decimal places. So if you want to see a bit more information, so just increase decimal place, just click that, and it increases how many decimal places of data you get. There we go. The last part is to actually copy this formula downwards so it applies it to every single line item. Now at the bottom right corner of each cell, your little mouse turns into a crosshairs. Now hold down the left mouse button and you can drag this formula downwards all the way and drag it all the way down to net assets. Once you're down here, you can then release the left mouse button. And now that's copied that same formula, but it's made it relative on the row. So it's the same formula, but it just changes the row number. So that's all good. Okay, we can do the same for the percentage change as well. So again, just drag from the bottom right corner, drag it all the way down, release, and we've got percentage changes. Now wherever you've got a divide by 0, just means it's pulling that up because there's no data there. So we just need to delete that out. You can do this at the end once you've copied all the formulas down. So you can just clear those out. Okay. Now I'm just going to put a little border so I know the difference between each of these changes. So I'm going to put in a left border. There we go. So now there's a line. Now I'm going to do the dollar change for the next lot of change, which is from 17 to 18. And then I'm also going to do percentage change, 17, 18. So this is now looking at the next lot of figures from 2017 to 2018. So again, new minus old, that's our dollar change. So we hit equals, F6 in this case, minus E6. So in this case, there's been a drop. It's a negative figure, drop of $1 million. Lastly, the percentage change. Again, that's the dollar change divided by the original figure. So that's equal to J6 in this case, divided by the 2017 figure, E6. Now again, that doesn't come up with the percentage, it comes up with a big long number. We want to turn that into a percentage. So just click on the K column at the top, go up to formatting styles, percent style formatting, and then we're going to increase those decimal places. Okay, I'm just going to decrease the size so we can get in the last two columns. So percentage change from 18 to 19, sorry, dollar change, and then percentage change, 18 to 19. There we go. And I'm just going to apply a border. I'm going to select at the top of that and apply a left-hand border. It's just so it's nice and clear. So I've just applied a border to each of these so it keeps it nicely contained. So you can see all the differences. So the dollar change, first of all, and now we're working between 18 and 19. So the same thing happens. We take our 2019 figure minus 2018 and hit equals. So now there's been an increase of 680,000. So that's in dollars. Then our percentage change, well, that is our dollar change divided by, again, the original 2018 figure. So in this case, it's L6 divided by F6 and hit equals. And again, we're going to apply percent styling to turn it into a percentage and increase the decimal place. The last thing I need to do here is just to drag down each of these formulas so it covers all of the line items. So I'm just going to go into the, again, that bottom right corner till it turns into a crosshair, drag it down, and the formula is applied, drag the next one down, drag the next one down, and drag the next one down. Okay, and now you can do this later, but you can just tidy up all of the divide by zeros and all the garbage that's there. You don't need those items. All these values, don't need it. Or don't need that one as well. Okay, so you can just clean up all the items that don't relate to, if there's numbers here, great, that's the ones you want to keep. So that's, okay. So that's the part of percentage changes. Now we've just used relative formulas, we'll put them on the right hand side so we can copy it downwards. The relative formula changes for each row number. Now the next part I'm going to show you is for the ratio ratios. I'm going to show you a couple of ratios and how relative formulas can use. But for that, we need to go down the bottom. So down the bottom here, I'm just going to put in ratio analysis, financial stability, and we've got some short-term ratios. So all up, there's going to be 18 formulas that you'll have to put in down here. So the first of those is working capital, for example. Now it's important that you start the formula in your first line of the year's data, which is column D. So look at the handout, the ratio analysis handout. Here is the formula for working capital. It's current assets minus current liabilities. So you hit equals, go up, find total current assets. Well, that's D40. Minus current liabilities. So that's D50. And hit enter. So that's your working capital as a dollar figure. Now this is relative formulas again, so you can go to the bottom right corner of that cell, and now you can drag it across. Hold down the left mouse button, drag it across those cells. When you're happy with the cells you're copying it onto, then release. And that's just copied those numbers to each of your years. Okay, I'm going to just demonstrate one more, which is the quick ratio. Now this one's a bit more complicated because we need to consider something called bed mass. We need to do a few things first before it does the divided by line. So quick ratio is cash, short-term investments, and 66% of accounts receivable, then divided by accounts payable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this with a bracket because we want to calculate the top line first. So I'll go up and have a look at my cash. Where's my cash? Oh, there is no cash. Oh well, I'll select that cell anyway. Plus, I'm going to open another bracket because I'm going to do a calculation on debtors. So here we go. So debtors is D38. Now it says in the formula that it's D38 times 0.66. And then we're going to close our brackets. Now if you can see in up the top where the formulas are, you'll note that what we've just done is we've done the top line. But there's two things happening. First, Excel is going to calculate 66% of debtors. Then it's going to add on cash at bank. And now we can actually continue on and do the last part. And now we want to divide by accounts payable or creditors. So that's divided by D49. So you do need to use brackets where you want to do something first. Okay, and then we hit enter. So this is the quick ratio result. So we've got 0.91. We can again copy it across, turn into the crosshair, drag it across. And again, this is a ratio. And so I'm just putting the note colon to 1 there. Okay, so that's it. So you need to do all 16 ratios down here. So you do have the handout, I think. So once you've done that, I'll flick up the webcam. So once you've done that, then you can start to pick your points of interest. So some of these things might be you want to talk about the quick ratio. So maybe highlight it, make a comment, say this is favourable or unfavourable. That's going to be what you're going to use for your main discussion points. But there might be some trends up here that you might want to talk about. So you might want to talk about, for example, the trend over time of what's happened to room sales. So here, room sales are going up, then they're going down, then they're going back up again. Why is that? So you could talk about that. Maybe you can talk about, what's happening to payroll costs. That could be something else to talk about. So you do have to talk about 10 items, a combination of your ratios, and also those percentage changes. So I hope this has been helpful, but that's just a quick run through of what to do on Excel.